Welcome to Dapper by Design, the podcast where faith, creativity, and purpose meet to inspire intentional living. I'm your host, Dwayne Morris, photographer, entrepreneur, and storyteller, and I believe that when we live by design and not by default, we unlock our full potential. Each week, I sit down with creatives, entrepreneurs, and leaders who share their journeys, insights, and strategies to help you align your faith, family, and ambition. Whether you're building a brand, pursuing your passion, or seeking clarity on your purpose, this show is for you. Today, I'm excited to welcome Danielle Breckenridge, the powerhouse behind Danie B Events, one of Richmond's premier wedding and event planning companies. She's a planner, florist, venue owner, and entrepreneur who turned an unexpected career shift into a thriving business. Not only does she bring dream weddings to life, but she also mentors new planners and small business owners, helping them navigate the industry with confidence. Danielle, welcome to Dapper by Design.
Woohoo!
All right,
Thank
so
you
how are
so
you doing
much.
today?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
I'm excellent. You know, this has been a journey. Dapper by Design has just taken my life by a whirlwind, and I'm just so glad about it.
I understand journeys.
Look,
I'm on one myself.
well, we're going to talk about your journey today. Um, your journey to event planning is so inspiring. Looking back, did you ever imagine that this was where you would end up?
Honestly, no. I never thought that this would be a part of my actual journey or my lifestyle. Although I had been introduced to design and weddings and all those things younger on in my life. My mom was a very domesticated woman, so I've always I grew up around a lot of magazines and some of the finer things in life, entertaining and all of that stuff. So looking back now, I think that I was introduced to those things because God knew that that would be a part of my purpose.
That's amazing. So you transitioned into full-time entrepreneurship after the corporate layoff. What was it like going through that?
It was, for lack of a better word, I think it was so unexpected. It was different from how my life was before because although I didn't know that planning was going to be a part of my path, I had already planned out a lot of my life before that. I knew what I wanted to be going into college. I knew the path that I would take in my career, what type of jobs I wanted, where I wanted to live, all of that stuff. So choosing to become an entrepreneur and choosing to go into the wedding industry was not something that I had planned, but was something that I immediately came up with after being laid off. And my husband is like, "What are you going to do next?" And I just blurted it out, like, "I'm going to start my own business." So it was totally unexpected.
Wow. And how did your faith play a role in that pivot?
My faith was paramount. That's all I had when I started because, like I said, it was very unexpected. And once I feel like I accepted the call to do it because after being laid off, I really didn't know what I was going to do. I just knew that I wasn't going to resurface or re-enter the workplace or be back in corporate America. So when I prayed about it, I was just really asking God, like, what is the next thing for me? What am I going to do? Where am I going? What's next? Like,
Right.
so when God was like, this is what I want you to do. This is what I'm calling you to do in this season. And I was like, but I don't know anything about this. I don't know anything, about design, because that's the word he spoke to me. Like, you're going to be a designer. And being that I didn't know anything about that, I was like, how do I do, like, okay, like pause for a second. Like, how do I do that? And then it was really, do I do this full time? Just trying to find out really what I was supposed to be doing and how I was supposed to be doing it. But all I heard him say was, if you do this, I'll be with you along the way. As I had questions, it was like, if you do this, I'll be with you. So we made a deal. And it's
Come
like,
on, make
if
a
I,
deal.
yeah, let's make a deal. Like, when you do it and if you do it, I'm going to be with you. And that is how it's been this entire time. I think I've been an entrepreneur now for 8 years. And it's just always been about really trusting God and using my faith at every juncture to get to the next.
Yeah, we have to trust God in
No,
this faith walk. I mean,
absolutely. Absolutely. That's what it is. That is what it has been. And I know in order for me to survive, that's what it's going to be.
yeah. And as we trust God and, know that He'll lead us and guide us in that, what has been the biggest challenge, though, for you starting your business?
The biggest challenge when I started, and like I said, at every juncture, is trusting yourself, and knowing that you are enough to get to the next place. It's also finding the right resources. Sometimes finding the right people that you can trust. Because not being an entrepreneur from the very beginning, you know how it is. If you've been in corporate America and you have worked a secular job, you understand that it's a lot of connection, and growing in those areas. It's about networking, and in corporate America, it's like it's already made. You already have this network, right? You walk into a job and there are all of these people and resources there to help you. But as a entrepreneur, it's like when you're building, you have to build those networks. You have to seek out those resources. You have to be the one to put those things together to be able to aid you and help you. So when I first started, it was just hard to find the people that were not, nowadays we use the word gatekeeping, that were not gatekeeping, that were able to help you and make an investment in your future, without knowing where this was really going to go. So that was one of the big things. And then just developing in my faith to know that this is where I'm supposed to be. Overcoming imposter syndrome was a big thing for me, knowing that I deserved to be here, that I was worthy of being here. And the thing that qualified me is that God had already given me the purpose to do it. So if He purposed me to do it, He's provided me with the gifts, with the talents, with the skills, and all that stuff to be able to be good at it, to be great in this area. Yeah.
I guess in the second part, you probably answered it too. Is like, how did you overcome those challenges? Like, first of all, knowing that God put you there, He called you to it, and you will thrive and survive it.
Absolutely.
All right, so you worked with so many couples to bring their wedding visions to life. Do you feel a deeper sense of purpose in what you do?
Now I do. Really this year, I've been praying more about just really my business being a place or something that gives God glory. So I feel now that the deepest purpose is for my business to be able to bring glory to God. And through that, it's a ministry of excellence. It's a ministry of prayer. It's a ministry of love. It's all of the things that I think God is really putting in me to bring out, to be able to give to people, not just couples. As you know, we do more than just weddings, so special events. He wants us to be able to pour out and show people through our work and through what we do. It's really the love of Christ. So through that, I'm able to minister to people so that Jesus is lifted high. That's ultimately my goal.
That's it.
Just lift Him high, and then He draws people that when they see what we do, they're not seeing me.
Right, because sometimes we're the only Bible they see.
Exactly. They're seeing God. And they're thinking, like, you do this so, it seems so easy or seamlessly, It's like you do it without even a thought. And it's like, okay, sometimes you can get caught up in it's you. No, it's really not you. It's the gift of God. Right. It's really the love of God that is helping you to do what you do. And make it look easy.
So event planning is a blend of organization, creativity, and problem solving. How do you balance all three?
I don't. It's a need to know and a need to do type situation. I don't think there is a balance. I do this thing of, like I just said, whatever's necessary. I see all of those things as small boxes, and wherever the need is where I pour in for the time being. So if it's planning, I'm doing the planning for when it's necessary. If it's the design, I do the design. If it's being a venue manager, wherever is needed is where I am for that period of time. Although I'm trying to plan it all out and be a good manager of my time, but I don't feel like there is no balance.
My struggle.
Yeah, just let's get what needs to be done is what we're doing. That's what I'm saying.
So what is one of your most memorable and challenging events, and how did you make it work?
All of my events are memorable, to be honest, and I wouldn't dare say that on this podcast that one is more memorable than the other. But a few of my most memorable ones are the events that we have to travel for. So it shows me how well, and to the glory of God, we do it to the glory of God, how well we are able to do things, how well I'm able to organize things prior to traveling, packing things, having everything ready, having out a good pack list to start with, having out a good timeline, and being organized to be able to move people from one place to the other so that we're able to effectively do what we need to do when we get there with as little lack in terms of like forgetting things and stuff like that. So number one are our travel events, which when we've traveled near and far. And then on event days when we have multiple events. And they all go out with they all go off without a hitch. I'm like, oh my God, thank you, Jesus. And when I get home at the end of the night, I'm like, how did you do it? Oh, we actually did it. Or I have so much, I don't like to use the word anxiety, but I have a little stress like at the beginning of that week. And I'm like, God, how am I going to get everything done? Like I'm going through my mind like, oh my God, how am I going to get all this done? And then once I get home that Saturday night or that Sunday, I'm waking up like, God, you are amazing. You are amazing. Like we got through multiple events because like I said, we do weddings, we do other special events, we do rentals. So like a weekend coming up, we have all of these events and I'm sitting there every day. We're rehearsing the plan and I'm going over it with my staff, with my husband. I'm like, oh God, we got to do all this. And then at the end of the day, God is every day he's saying, I got you. Don't worry. I got you. Don't worry. And then I get home at the end of the week and at the end of the event, and I'm like, you a bad man. I really don't know how you did it. Thank you, Jesus. Now, hey, let's go on to the next week. So, amazing. Yeah.
I love it. And I've seen, in the events and things that we've done together, I've seen the organization. Yeah. I mean, y'all come through and y'all had that stuff, boxed up and y'all unpack it, flawlessly. And at the end, everybody comes in and y'all start packing it up. You kick them red bottoms off and you go to work.
Go to work. I mean, for real. And like you said, we have done quite a few things together. And I'm looking at like you come in and because we got our timelines and stuff, and we know every single person doing what they're supposed to be doing. And it works well because of that, because we work hard before we get to the day. I'm sending out timelines. I'm talking to my vendors. I'm doing all the things that I need to do so that when you come in the space, you're a professional. You do what you're paid to do. I know what's going to happen. And you can attest to that. I don't work in other people's spaces. I let everybody flow.
Let you do what you want to do.
Do what you are supposed to be doing, because we're all there to do a job, but we're all there flowing in our own anointings. And we're flowing in the things that we are gifted to do. So I don't crowd space. We talk it out, and everybody. I like to say, do your thing. Just do your thing. And long as my bride and groom or my client is happy, I'm happy.
Awesome. So you're also known for your floral designs and venue management as well. What is your creative process when designing an event from scratch?
First of all, it's about the client. It's about in particular, it's about the bride and groom. I sit down and we have extensive, lengthy conversations about their vision. at the heart of what I do is getting a clear understanding of what it is they want. First of all, what was it about me? What was it about our business and our brand that attracted you to us? And then what about that gave you the confidence to choose us? And then how do you feel like we're going to be able to deliver for what you want? So it's getting clear on their vision. And once I get clear on their vision, we normally can sketch things out. I'm not the best at developing design plans right now. I clip a few pictures together and then give them an idea of what they want. And then once we've gone through several meetings about what the idea is and trying to get all of that down on paper, then we just move forward. And there I am working months at the time, collecting inventory, collecting samples, getting colors, doing all of this stuff, doing venue tours to make sure that when we get this plan, that it's going to actually work in the space that they chose. So that's how we come up with the perfect plan to be able to execute for the couple on their wedding day.
So how do you keep your work fresh and innovative while keeping the clients, ideas in mind?
I try to stay in tune with the industry and what is trending. But our clients are clients that want something custom.
Right.
They like what they see. But when I tap into, I think what keeps me relevant is that I am satisfying the client.
Right.
Because some things I may see and some things I may not see. You give me an idea and you give me the creative control to do it, then we're always coming up with something that's fresh. And fresh to me, relevant to me, is satisfied clients. So, as long as I'm doing what they want me to do, I'm like, okay, we going. We good. We got a good review. They're singing our praises. They're coming back for more. I think that's what keeps us relevant.
So many people think event planning is just fun and pretty things. What is a misconception that people have about what you do? Because it's a business. It's not just all the pretty things.
It's certainly not. I think a misconception is that anybody could do it. A misconception is that, I could just wake up one day and start doing this. I just want to be a wedding planner, or I want to be an event planner. A misconception is that it doesn't take time.
Right.
A misconception is that it don't cost that much.
It costs.
Absolutely. It costs. A misconception is that it's not necessary. A misconception is that it's not that valuable.
Yeah.
So all of those things are things that we, on a day-to-day basis, like you are trying to, what's the word I'm looking for? You trying to dismantle some thought. You're trying to uproot some thoughts and then plan another one so that people can see that, no, this is not as easy as you think. It's very undervalued, So I think it's when it comes to just wedding planning in general, I think that part is undervalued. But entrepreneurship within itself is undervalued. People really don't understand. They don't understand they don't understand the struggles. They don't understand the highs, the lows, the ebbs, the flows, all of that. So it all just rolls up into it's a whole big thing of misconceptions. I'll tell you that. It's more than I can name.
Yeah, it's definitely out there. So for aspiring entrepreneurs, especially those in the creative industries, what advice would you give them to help them, when they're stepping out in faith?
Advice. Trust God. If you believe, if you're a believer, you better know in the God who you believe in. Know that this is, first start with purpose. Understand your purpose. And if your desires and all are rooted in that, then you'll find success. But trust God, Trust yourself. And also trust people. You have to trust people.
We have to
understand that you cannot go far by yourself. So you don't have to go with many, but you're going to need some people or a person that is going to be able to help you reach the success that you're hoping for. And also be skilled at what you do. You know, like I was talking about, I'm just going to wake up one day and say, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that. Do not. Get some training.
Right.
Develop your gifts. Develop your skills so that you can be the best at what it is you want to do.
Right.
I think that's it.
All right. So how do you handle difficult clients or unexpected challenges in the industry?
Do you want an honest answer here?
Come on, tell the people the truth. No.
Oh my goodness. Okay, let's just talk about present. I think that I've really grown in this area. I think I have developed a plan or a way of vetting clients. The struggle that I have with people, and that's who they are, that we use the word client, but the struggle that I have with people, I don't have anymore because I'm vetting my clients by letting them know, first of all, at the same time you're shopping me, I'm shopping you. So that just levels the planes for me. And it takes some of the power away from them, like they think they have, and saying, "Oh, you're in a position where you need me."
Right. It's like, no.
You need me. No, I'm here to solve a problem for you. You came here because you have a problem.
That's right.
And it is my goal, and it is my mission to be able to provide a solution to a problem. Right. So once I am having that time to conversate and understand what people's needs are and get a feel for who they are, I don't run into as many challenges or struggles as I used to. However, when there are people that I find give me some resistance in being able to do what I do, I am quick at this point in this stage in my business. I am quick to assist them and help in finding someone else.
Absolutely.
And finding the person that's a fit. Because I don't feel like I can't provide you with the best service if there are struggles. And I'm not able to really flow in peace and get the joy that I feel in my work when there is some resistance.
If I wanted to be unhappy, I would be on the job.
Exactly. Or I'm working with someone else. I want to work with, I want my work to provide peace to you, and I want to get the same peace and the joy from my work. So when I feel it, it's an inner thing for me. When I feel like my peace is disturbed, I'm like, I think we're gonna have to write a letter here. We're gonna have to have a tough conversation. And there is peace when we decide that we're going to go separate ways, because they understand like what my reservations are. And I'm sure they have some, because they're offering me some pushback. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just free up this space. Cause I want you to have a wonderful day. I want you to have a wonderful experience, whether that's a wedding. We've done funerals, celebrations of life, whether it's a birthday party or anything. I want them to be at peace, and I want them to enjoy that moment. So if I feel like any point that is not what is happening, I think you need to find a better person. Find a better fit. We're not a fit.
I love it. So let's talk about these babies of yours, your family.
Okay.
You're a wife, you're a mother to twins, and a business owner. How do you balance it all?
Again, I'm not good at balancing. I just give it what it needs.
Right.
What I have become and I am becoming the chief of is time management.
Yeah.
So I manage my time in a way that I'm wherever I need to be when it needs me to be there.
Right.
So my marriage is first, to my best friend. So I nurture that, giving it the time and the space that it needs to thrive. My children, definitely are in a struggle for first place. But I try to manage that, and give the girls what they need when they need it. They have taught me, I'm becoming a better parent, because I've learned how to grow with them through these seasons,
Right.
of knowing how much of what they need in the season that they're in. So as we're growing, as you know, you have growing children as well. So they need less of your time. What they want less of your time.
Right.
They want that little wiggle room and ability to stress and be independent. I got it. I can do it. And that's why we got cameras to watch you.
Hello. And
That's
phones
why we
to know
got
where you
phones
at
to track you. But that's fine. Have all the space you need. Have all the space you need. And then I'm managing my time as a business owner to know which days I'm working, how many hours I'm working, how many days am I working outside of the home. It's important to me to continue to have a place in my home that I've created, the space that I need to work right there. So I'm still there. I may have my focus may be somewhere else at the time, but when the girls, I'm present, and I take that very, very seriously. So I'm trying to narrow down the amount of time that I do spend outside of the home. I love, as what people don't know is I love being home. I love people, but I love being home. So I just try to manage out that time to say, hey, I'm working in the office Monday or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I'm home.
Right.
I'm doing what I need to do for my family and for me personally. And that's one of the reasons why I continued down the path of entrepreneurship, so that I can be in control of my time, which then helps me to control my emotions. I'm in control of my lifestyle and all of that stuff. So that's what I've done, and that's what I'm trying to do to get it all together. Not the word balance, but just make it all work.
It's hard to balance it. It's a lot of things,
It
people talk about
is.
that balance thing, and it's really not. It's
not
realistic. It's not realistic for us when we're doing so much. But many business owners struggle with burnout. While we're trying to keep everything flowing, we're juggling it all. How do you protect your mental and spiritual health while you're doing this?
I pray.
Yes.
I pray all the time. I have a spirit of prayer, and I pray in the spirit to maintain my mental health. But I with balancing my time, I try to balance out my self-care, personal time, couple time with my husband. I try to compartmentalize the time that I spend where. That helps me not to experience burnout, because if there was a time that I can balance, I don't give more time to one thing than I do the other.
Right.
So, and then continue to make sure that I find joy in everything that I do. Because when it is no longer peaceful, right, or no longer joyful, I think I'll get to that point where I'm like, this isn't for me. Right. This is a sign. This is a sign that something is not working, something is out of whack. So I may need to look at either retreating or finding some other path, finding some other way to do something. So I haven't necessarily come to that point yet. I'm grateful for that. So I guess I'll keep pressing.
Keep pressing and keep praying.
Keep praying.
All right. So you're known for sharing candid and humorous wedding planning tips on social media. What made you decide to start doing that?
I don't think I chose to do it. I think it chose me based on my personality. One of the things that I did come to, and one of the moments that I came to in this journey is that I can only be me.
Oh, that's right.
I had to have a personal conversation with myself about being authentic. And you know me personally. You know me outside of the role of being a wedding planner or that entrepreneur or Danie B or whatever those personas are. You know me personally. You're my photographer, so we have these candid conversations, and it's just my personality. So a lot of times when I'm not trying to be humorous, someone thinks I'm humorous. Sometimes I'm not trying to be over the top, and people think I'm over the top. So I don't think it's what I'm trying to be. I think it's just what chose me and what's a part of my personality, honestly.
Awesome. So for someone trying to grow in the event industry, what's the best first step they should take?
Educate. I am an advocate of education. Like, I'm still taking classes for the things that I have done and have learned to do well, and for new things that I want to do. I say always start with education. If it's something you want to do research. Right. Take a class. If you can't afford classes, do something on YouTube. That's what I was going to say. YouTube University is free, but I'm a hands-on person. So when I started, I had to find classes. I had to have somebody that I could go to physically take my hands and show me how to do things, or actually physically call and ask questions. That's just me. But I'm first for education. Absolutely. And then secondly, really horning in on what it is you want to do and knowing who you are doing it. And then patiently finding your path, patiently finding your place in that industry and being comfortable with that. Understanding, you make a valid point, understanding that it does not happen overnight. Developing in patience to know that, I'm not the fastest person will always win the race. It's the patient runner. It's the person that patiently obtains their goal, patiently obtains whatever it is they're going after. So just pump your brakes a little bit, slow down. It's going to happen. And then take your eyes off of what other people are doing. Right. That goes back to just knowing who you are, knowing your place, and don't get tunnel vision. If I could have just had that starting out, I would have saved some worries. Get tunnel vision about you and who you are, and knowing your place in the world. That's how you win.
That's how you win. All right. So you also mentor new planners and small business owners. Why is mentorship important to you?
Mentorship is important to me because it's something I didn't have in the very beginning. It's something that I literally had to fight to get. I think that mentorship is the one thing that for new entrepreneurs will anchor you in being able to sustain for I don't know how to really put this. Like, it helps you to really stay, to stay committed. To it can encourage you, because a mentor is someone who may have some wisdom about where you're going. So hearing that person's drawing from their stories, drawing from their wisdom, and knowing that you have them in your corner rooting you on, it makes you want to do it. Like, you can really stay. You don't want to throw in the towel as easy.
It's like they pour so much into me. I can't give up.
Exactly. You can't. You have that person that's there in your corner that understands. Right. Maybe when you have feelings or when you have different thoughts, that person has already been there. Right. But it's just having that person in your corner to lift you. So I want to be that for someone. And readily be there, like, be out in the open, like, hey, I'm over here. Right. If you need help, I'm here. If you need an example, I'm here. So it's just important for me to do that. Just be there when that person who's entering the industry new needs someone to just be there.
Yeah. So how do you define success now versus when you first started? Like, what is success to you?
Success for me is showing up every single day in some way.
Mm-hmm.
Showing up for me, showing up for my family, and showing up for my community. That's it. Success is showing up. Success is doing what I said I'm going to do. Success is keeping your word. You know, success is growth. Success is being in a different place that I was today than I was yesterday, or being in a different place in this year than I was last year. So there's so many definitions to it. I see it in so many different ways now versus when I started, I was thinking success was booking so many events.
Mm-hmm.
I thought success was having so much, earning so much at the end of the year. I thought it was so many other things than what I do now. So
Awesome.
that's growth.
I love it. So as we look, like as you're sharing your success or what it means to you, when we look at legacy, what do you want to leave behind? What do you want to leave behind for your family and for the industry?
That's a great question. I'm still thinking about that. But I want to leave behind for my children, for my daughters. I want to leave behind that they can do anything they want to do. I want to leave behind that they can live a purpose-driven and fulfilled life. I want them to first know who God has created them to be. Learn that early on. Jump into that. Strive to know who God wants you to be. And once you get that, thrive. That you can do anything that you could, and you can be any woman. You can be every woman.
Right.
We say that I'm every woman. Yeah, you can be every woman that you are supposed to be. A mother, a wife, a business owner, whatever you want to be. And then to my community, I want to, the legacy I want to leave is a legacy of completion. Completing your task. When they put you in a box, when they speak over you, your life should be poured out. Completely poured out, like moving and doing all the things that you were supposed to do. Yeah. That's it for me.
All right. So what is your favorite wedding trend that's out right now?
My favorite wedding trend is, and this encompasses so much. My favorite wedding trend is doing the wedding your way.
Yeah.
But I mean, setting new traditions. That's the trend for me. Like, whatever you want to do is what we're doing. However you want to do it. If you want to have it big or small, do it your way. You can break every rule in the book. I do not care. I want at the end of the day, you to know and you to say, I did it my way. We did it our way. That's it for me.
That's it.
It's out with the old, in with the new. If you're changing it, if they change it and doing something different every single wedding season, that's the trend for me.
Yeah.
Doing what you want to do.
And those are my favorite weddings, even when I shot it. It's like, when the client or the bride and groom are doing it their way, they love what they're doing. They are into it. I mean, it's just so much more energy and life in it, as opposed to somebody who's trying to stick by the book.
By the book, yeah.
It's like, where's the connection?
Exactly.
Where's the love? What are you, seeing?
Exactly. What are you? And with every event, I push for, this is your event.
Yeah.
How can we assist you in showing up in your event that your guests are going to know at every impression point that this is so you? This is so them. When they walk in, this is so Dwayne. Dwayne would do this. Or this is so Danie. Like, I know I can feel it. I don't know exactly what it's going to be, but when I arrive, just the feeling, the atmosphere, the ambiance, and you're walking in like, I know that this is so her. But when you're working with a wedding planner or you're working with a day of coordinator, we're able to elevate it with our expertise. So we're taking who they are, we're taking what they wanted to do, and we're just putting a little sprinkle on it. That's what I like to say. We're just adding a little Danie magic on it. That's it.
I love it. So what is your favorite quote or mantra that you live by?
One mantra is, you don't need permission to be yourself. And then from that, the one thing that you have that someone doesn't have is yourself.
I like that.
So those are my main two. And then the other one is, be yourself, because everyone else is taken.
They're already taken. See, you did good.
Okay.
All right. Now I want you to tell our audience today, what is one piece of advice that you give someone who's planning their dream wedding or their dream business?
To someone who's planning their dream wedding, is just like we stated before, have the wedding that you want. Have the wedding that you've envisioned. Don't do it for anyone else. The two people that are involved are the people who should be the most satisfied. Get your vision and thrive. Get the right team around you who is going to be team whoever, and make sure that you have the wedding that is designed for you. You rock the socks off, and at the end of the day, you live happily ever after, knowing that you did it your way.
Awesome. What's next for you and Danie B events?
Oh my gosh. What's next? Who knows? Because when I tell you, the way that we've built this business is just, if for lack of a better way to say it, we've done it like on a need to know basis only.
Right. That's right.
Because we started out one way, and then every so often we've built it out. We started as planners, and we went into coordinate. No, we started as designers. When I started full time, I started out as a designer, and that's what I wanted to do, because I didn't want to revisit planning, because I had already done planning for so long. So started as designers, and then here we come. We're back planning again. And then, because in the Richmond area, when I started designing, I was designing a different way.
Yeah.
So some of the pieces that I wanted, some of the chairs that I wanted, things like that was new to the industry. It was beginning to trend when I started. So my husband and I started to import. So we learned how to import, and we started bringing everything that we had in. And then we were like already in one warehouse, and then we're getting another one. And we were like, okay, what are we going to do? And then we started monetizing everything. So we started renting. And then after that, we had all those pieces together. And then last year, we were like, or a couple of years back, we decided, wait, owning a venue may be something that we want to do. So we started looking at different areas to have a venue, and that wasn't working out. But we were already in a space, so we were like, let's just convert this. So we converted that space into a venue. So now we have a venue. So where I'm going, I don't know. I just, what I want to do is just consult with God.
That's it.
Like, he is my coach. He is my consultant. And so as he gives me things that he wants me to do, we'll do it. Who knows? We may be behind the camera one day.
Where he leads,
we will follow. And close. Just follow him.
Awesome. Well, Danielle, this conversation has been exciting and incredible. Hearing your journey from stepping out on faith and after being laid off to building a successful event and planning empire is just most inspiring and impactful. Thank you so much again for sharing your wisdom, your humor, your expertise with us today. We're just so glad to have you.
And thank you for having me.
All right, so before we wrap up, let's let the people know where they can connect with you.
You can connect with me on social media, on IG at Danie B Events _RVA. Also on IG at Sweet153 _RVA, and on Facebook at Danie B Events and Sweet153.
Awesome, awesome. So to everyone listening, if this episode has inspired you, do me a favor and subscribe to Dapper by Design so that you don't miss future conversations like this one. And if you found value in Danie and what she shared today, share that in the comments below. Share the episode with a friend and tag us on social media with your biggest takeaways. Let's keep this conversation going and continue building your life by design and not by default.
I love it.
So until next time, stay intentional, stay inspired, and I'll see you on the next episode of Dapper by Design.
Absolutely. That was good.
Thank you so much.
That was good. That was good. That was good.